Namaste everyone, this is Sandeep and welcome to my channel Only Study by Sandeep Dhiman. Our today's topic is lesson number 5, water surrounding the earth. Water cycle is the topic we are going to discuss. Let's start. So the lesson name is water surrounding the earth, and in our previous lesson we had read that our planet earth is known as water planet or the blue planet, right? Why? Because there is water in abundance on the earth. So due to the presence of abundant water on the earth, it is called water planet or blue planet. Okay, so attempt this question: why is earth called blue planet or water planet? Water covers about 71%, and if we talk about this, then this water is present in oceans, rivers, lakes, underground water, uh, glaciers, water vapors in the air. Okay, and more than 97% of the water on the earth is salty water. It is not of our use, and remaining 3% water, from that 3%, 2% is in glaciers and 1% is fresh water that we can use, that is in rivers and lakes, right? Now the oceans, we talked about oceans. So oceans are mainly four: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian and Arctic. Okay, these four oceans are there, and the largest reservoir on the water on the earth are oceans. Now we'll study them briefly, what's the importance and other things. First of all, the major part of the water on the earth is comes through rainfall. Okay, the rainfall is the purest form of water. Rainwater is the purest form of water. In addition, it receives fresh water through the numerous springs. Okay, when it rains, the water it receives through springs and rivers. The water never remains static, means there is a cycle of water. We'll discuss this briefly. Look here in the picture. Okay, this is ocean, blue one here. This is the ocean, this is the sun. Okay, so what happens, the sun rays fall here, and what happens, this water evaporates. This is the process of water evaporation. Then after, what happens, the water rises upward, and then after, in the upper atmosphere, it condenses, and then after there it converts into tiny drops of water or the tiny crystals, ice crystals, and they form clouds. When those crystals or those droplets, they become heavy, they fall in the form of precipitation. Okay, means in the form of rainfall or snowfall, they fall down. So this is the life cycle of the water. Next we have here, the sun is the main source of energy. We all know that sun is the main source of energy, and it converted the water in the oceans into water vapors due to its heat, and that is called evaporation. Next we have the evaporated water. As I told, it rises up, and then after, in the atmosphere, it condenses and converts into tiny crystals or the droplets. Then after, they form clouds, and when these droplets condense when they condensed, and their size increases, they then become unable to float, and then they fall down on the earth's surface in the form of precipitation, right? So what happens then, Precipitation, this is called the water cycle, and the major part of the water, when it rains, the major part of the rainwater that runs off but a small part of the rainwater percolates means the sun drinks it. Okay, not the earth drinks it, and that forms groundwater. Groundwater is very important source of water for the plants. They absorb the water through their roots, right? And they return it to the atmosphere in the form of moist air through their leaves. And water is also present in the form of ice crystals in the high altitude of region. Next, this is now it is clear that this is a continuous supply of water on our earth, and this distribution is not uniform. Some areas they receive heavy rainfall and some receives low rainfall, and we can regulate the source, these resources, the water resources, by storing the surplus water in the large reservoirs or by conserving in several other ways. We need to use judiciously means wisely. We need to use the water wisely so that we can conserve it for our next generation or our future also. Next, now various movements of the water. This is very important topic, movements of the water. So when you throw a pebble in a river or in a pond, you observe ripples. What are ripples? The small waves like this when you throw a stone in the river or pond. Okay, similarly there are waves in the sea water. What causes their movement, and where do these ripples originate? We'll study here. Let me tell you, there are basically three kinds of the movement of water, of ocean water: waves, ocean currents, and tides. Let's study them one by one. First of all, we have waves. Now, what are waves? Waves are the movements in water body where water particles move up and down. Okay, so the movement of sea or ocean water up and down, that is called waves. Now, what do you think? The water, is that water travels? No, it doesn't. In the waves, that is not water which travels. Let me give you an example. Here is an example. If you throw a ball in the water, what happens? The ball keeps on moving up and down along the wave. This rhythmic movement of water particles produces a pattern which we can see as waves. Okay, so it is not water that moves in the waves. It is due to the waves. The height of the waves depends upon the speed of the wind and the duration of wind blowing from a particular size. Okay, so it depends upon it is the movement of the winds in a particular direction that originates waves, right? I hope everything is clear to you. So the size of the waves also depends upon the duration and the speed of the waves. Then after, next movement we have is ocean currents. We'll discuss them in next video, right? I hope you enjoyed this. few questions you have to attempt from the exercise. They are given here. Let's see them. So here we have the first question is the continuous movement of water. What is water cycle? The continuous movement of water. The three states of water are solid, liquid and gas. What turns water on the earth into vapors in the water cycle? So this is sun. When clouds get too heavy to hold water, the water falls on the earth. In coastal areas, this question we have not done yet. So in next video we'll just do this. Look here, part B. The largest natural source of water is ocean. Ocean. When the level of the ocean rises, it is, we have not done this, so we'll not do this. Next here, the process in which water converted to water vapors through heat or sun, it is evaporation. Okay. The continuous circulation of water in the three spheres of the earth, water cycle. A movement in the ocean in which water particles move up and down, wave. It is the purest form of water, rain. Periodic rise and fall, we have not done this. Next one, on what factor does the height of a wave depend upon? The speed of, it depends on the speed of wind or the duration of the blowing wind in a particular direction. Define ocean currents. We have not done this yet. In next class we'll do this. How are tides useful? We have not done this. So this is for the day. Revise this and read this lesson. Thank you.